A division, Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Patriots in the AFC East. And you know how I do. I tell you about them, and then I tell you where everybody's going to finish, and then everybody holds me to it. So uh, let's start with the Patriots, right? Let's start with the Patriots. I'm rebuild. I'll just say that. Restart, do over, whatever. But I do think this Patriots team is going to be better than last year's, right? And it's not because of, Drake May or anything. I don't even think Drake May is going to get a start this year if Jacoby Brissett stays healthy. Jacoby Brissett has shown, even when he played for New England previously, he has shown in Cleveland, I think he was in Miami and other places that he's been, is that he can win games. He is a quality quarterback, and he's getting this opportunity. So, and we know he's holding the seat, for Drake until he's ready. But Patriots got some pieces here. I think, more than anything, I'm going to jump to the defensive side real quick. This Matthew Judon situation, how is that going to play out now? Looked like he was a little perturbed before. Maybe they talked about it. They're working it out. Maybe a deal get done because he ain't got no guaranteed money, coming to him. And I understand that. You want to go ahead and get your money situated and all that stuff, and you don't want to go out there and put yourself at harm's risk. That's their best defensive player, but they got Christian Gonzalez and others on that squad. So you got pieces, you got stuff that you can build with. But this is a build season, right? Jared Mayo. I'm not going to go on the record like I did last time with the Houston Texans and a new coach in DeMarco Murray. I said DeMarco Murray, DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud and all that stuff. I'm not going to go on record saying, because I picked Houston to finish second in the division, but they end up winning it. I'm not doing that, right? They're going to be there. To me, I think there's going to be more downs than ups. For this team this year, they still got to find their identity. They still got to get guys or get additional guys on this roster. They're nowhere near where they want to be. But look, I'm not going to be a hater, but yeah, it's kind of good to see the Patriots struggle because I just don't have to hear Patriots fans. They always were talking and all this stuff, and it's just like, hey, thank you, you're back, welcome, welcome to the normal world with the rest of us. Let's move on. Dolphins, right? I was talking about Tua getting paid, so he's the high man on the, I guess, the roster, if you will. He got paid, but can Miami get over the hump, man? That's the main thing. They got all the pieces that anyone should need. You got a stable of running backs. You got Tyreek. You got Jalen Waddle. Obviously, I said Tua. On that they added Odell, so you got a little bit of veteran leadership there as well. On the defensive side, they lost some guys like Jerome Baker, but you picked up. What's his name? Uh, Jordan Brooks. Jordan Brooks from Seattle, right? To man the middle for them. So nice pickup. I like what they did there. I think more than anything, it's just them showing primetime games how to finish those games. Miami is one of the most lethal teams out there. They can put up points. They can score at will. But when you go up against a team that's just as good as you and they can match those points, that's where they need to get over the hump at this point. Everything else on the both sides of the ball, I think they all right. Jalen Ramsey, now Chubb, I think he was injured, so we'll see how that works. But I like where they're at. They lost Christian Wilkins. That was the other loss. He went to Vegas as well. So D tackle, that could be something that they miss, dearly in Miami. But they'll be in the mix. They'll be up for the division just as usual. And speaking of usual, the Buffalo Bills, right? Buffalo Bills in the mix again, but they're minus one key member of this team who they traded to Houston, and that is Stephon Diggs. How much is that going to matter if Stephon is in Houston. I don't think that much, and that's not a knock, on Stephon, because I think he's going to go to Houston and ball out there. I think, and I've said this before, Buffalo has always, to me, their problem has been the run game. So it's getting James Cook uh, uh, going at the end of the year, or last half of the year. He got it going. They switched out offensive coordinators as well. I think that did wonders, for them. That takes that pressure off of Josh Allen, because it was Josh had to run, he had to pass, he had to, play field position. He had to do everything for that team. So to take a little bit off, establish a run game, I think it does wonders. But also what I think is going to do wonders, and I'm not saying he's going to make you forget Stephon Diggs, but this kid, Keon Coleman, man, that first started out at Michigan State, but he finished his last senior year or last year in college at Florida State. This kid, 6'3", I think he like 212, and his mindset, right? He's a funny guy. But he's about business when he's on that field. And I think Buffalo fans are really going to be excited this year, because getting him in the second round, I think we're going to be talking about Keon Coleman and say they got a steal. Just the way Minnesota got a steal when they got Stephon Diggs in the fifth round. So I think they got a replacement, for their wide receiver position, for the one position. I think he can handle it, for that team. But they got to establish the run. They lost some, and they also lost some defensive guys. Everybody lose folks, but more than anything, make sure Josh got what he need, because they can score on anybody at any time in any given place, as long as they're balanced. So it's more making it balanced. And at some point, they got to get over the hump, because if you don't, they're gonna start looking at moving people. You done already moved the OC. You done moved out players. They're gonna start looking at the coach, Sean McDermott, next. So this year, got to get it done. Speaking of got to get it done, New York, son. Jets got to get it done, plain and simple. You lost a year. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it and all that stuff, because you put everything in one basket on Aaron Rodgers, and no one expected him to get hurt the way he got hurt. That was just a freak, accident there. So you're 1 year removed from that. I guess the good thing is that happened at the very beginning of the season, so you can try and get Aaron back as healthy as possible. They picked up some nice pieces. One, they got themselves a backup veteran quarterback, right? And Tyrod Taylor. I think if I could remember right, he said his name is Tyrod. So I'll try and call him Tyrod Taylor. But they got Mike Williams from the Chargers as well, to put him on the other side with Garrett. I think that's going to do wonders, for this offense. Breece Hall is going to be back. The defense, I don't think anyone ever had a question with the defense. So Sauce and the rest of those boys, I think it just gives them the opportunity to, really let loose, run wild, take some chances, because they're not going to have the same question marks that they had, on the offensive side of the ball. So New York, Miami, Buffalo, New England. I think it's safe to say I got New England finishing fourth in this. Of course, again, this is a buildup, right? They got to get back to, climb back up to the mountaintop. It's a lot of competition, so it's not a knock, on New England. Where I would say this is where it gets tricky, 3-1, because I don't think you could throw these around and really make a case for all of them at this point. But I'm going to say, please don't get mad at me. You got your guy back, but I think the Jets are going to be at 3. So that leaves 2, and they've been knocking on the door, and they've been going back and forth. And I'll just say this: they don't want to go nowhere where it's cold. Come on home. So I'm gonna say Buffalo finished second, and Miami, they put up points all over the place, and they play at home. They get some home games, and they win the division. So my pick: Miami 1, Buffalo 2, New York 3, and New England 4.